One thing that I do like about documentaries, though, that because we've made, what, 9 of them now?
9 documentaries, yeah.
There was something that a friend of mine, another producer, told me one time that if he could, he would love to just go make documentaries, and that's it.
Really?
Oh, he would just love it because it didn't pay as high. See, he was producing narrative films, and it didn't pay as high as making narrative films. So he couldn't do it. But he said, if I had my druthers, I would go make documentaries.
Now, why did he say that? Because he loves getting to the truth, or he loves drilling down on a subject matter?
Nope. It was it was because there was
small crew.
No, well, it's partially smaller crew, but there was no. How did he say it? It was great. There was no illusion of control. You knew you didn't have any control.
Oh.
And in narrative feature films,
it's all about control.
It's an illusion that you have control over the weather. You try and control everything as you possibly can, but you know you can't.
Right.
Where in documentaries, you're freed from all of that control. You're freed from feeling like you have to control.
You don't have to worry about that anymore, because whatever you document is, if it's raining, it's raining.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So he liked that freedom, and I could totally see that after making a bunch of documentaries now. It's like, yeah, I can see that.
Well, I just finished a documentary. The stress level is way down.
Oh, from making a feature?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, for sure.
You've got interviews, you're doing B-roll, you've got, photographs, videos, whatever you're doing. It's
lots of material.
Lots of material, and you're just gathering
lots of research.
All this information, And you go, and you're going to get, you go to an interview, and you kind of know, you might have done a pre-interview phone call with somebody.
Oh, with somebody you're going to interview
as a subject.
Yeah.
And then you just sit down, and you get it lit, you get your camera set, and then you just roll.
Yeah, and ideally you've done some homework before that, right? So, and we'll talk about all of these things. We'll get into it.
It's kind of fun, though.
It is. Like, there's something about it that is, and I think one of the reasons it's a lot less stress is because there's not a certain schedule, right?
Right.
With a film, the studio says we're going to be in the theater on July 9th.
Yeah.
Like, a year, 2 years in advance. They know their release date, they know where they're going to be, and you have to hit that.
Yeah.
And oftentimes that's tough.
You do still have a schedule with documentaries, but it's quite a bit more
But it's not
flexible.
nearly, especially the production schedule. Like the production schedule, once you get to production in a documentary, you might shoot a day here or 2 there, a week over here. It's stretched out, whereas a feature film is like day after day, and you have to get it in this period of time.
Yeah.
Or you got to pay for reshoots, right? You got to go back out with everybody else and more expense.
Well, part of that's because a feature film, you have a lot of crew.
Yeah.
Sets, and there are a lot of people involved, and you're
spending
a lot of money.
A lot of moving parts. Yeah. Just it's so big.
So with a documentary, you have quite a bit more freedom. It's a bit more casual. It's
less stress.
Less stress.
Probably, I would say, more creative control than you do. There's an illusion of creative control on a feature film, especially for the studios, because you've got all the executive producers and everybody above you that can go, no, you're going to do it this way or that way, Oh, shoot. That's why you see the director's cut of every feature film that comes out,
But don't let that lower stress be
your guide to laziness.
Your guide to laziness, because you will be able to tell, or your audience will be able to tell, by the outcome of your film.
Oh, yeah.
If you've been lazy, it's the quality and the types of the information you're getting, that you're putting up on the screen.
The research, if you're not going to do your research, trust me, if you're doing a show about, let's say, heart transplants, right? We're going to do a show about heart transplants, a documentary, and we're going to go back and show the history of it, how it came about. You darn well better get those dates right and those people's names right and everything right, because somewhere out there's
an expert.
Is somebody who really knows.
Yeah.
And you're going to look like a stupid when you realize that you did it wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Do your homework.
Homework.
We're excited to have you starting off on this documentary curriculum. We're really excited about seeing the stories that you want to tell, and
That is truly exciting to me. So for the longest time, I mean, we've done Snook on the Lot for 20 years. And we've always, since the very beginning, talked about, wow, won't it be neat if we ever get to a place where we have students all over the world and the stories that they're telling from all over the world. I mean, the story that a kid from the inner city Bronx tells, as opposed to some kid in Nairobi or Ghana or Russia. Like, what are the stories that these people are all telling? And won't it be interesting when we get to understand people better through the stories they're telling?
Yeah.
You know, and I think we're almost there. We're at a place where people can start to do that.
And documentaries will allow us to tap into that. I mean, we'll get stories, we'll get narrative stories from all around the world, but a lot of times you'll try and duplicate what's happening in other parts of the world.
Right, sure.
Whereas a documentary is really going to get down to the nitty-gritty
what your life is like.
Where your life is. So we're excited. We're excited to have you. Go make some great documentaries. Do the work. It's less stressful, but make sure you do your homework before you go out and start shooting.